What's up, everybody? Thanks for stopping by Out the Box. And before we get into the video, I just want to briefly say I'm excited to announce the release of my latest project, Universe, that can be found on all streaming platforms: Tidal, Apple Music, Pandora, you name it. Please go check that out, as well as the video for my first single, To the Sky. You can actually find a link for that below, or if you just go to the videos on Out the Box, you can find that video, or check out my other YouTube channel, which I really don't promote that much, but KRK Beats. The video is also on there. Again, that first single is To the Sky, and the project is Universe, KRK Beats Universe. So check that out when you get a chance, all right? Now to the video. Thanks. What's up, everybody? KRK Beats back with another video here at Out the Box Studios, and today it's going to be interesting. We're looking at IK Multimedia's ARC 3 room correction software. And you may be asking, well, what is that? Do I need it? And we're going to get into that. But briefly, if you hadn't had a chance, please hit the subscription button as well as the notification bell if you would like, so you can find out when we post new content. All right. So like I said, we're looking at the ARC 3 room correction software from IK Multimedia. If you're not familiar with IK Multimedia, they make a wide range of products, everything from studio monitors to software to VST plugins. But today specifically, we're looking at their room correction software. What this allows you to do is measure your room with a mic that comes with the software, and you can actually correct some of the errors you may have in your room acoustically. Now, can you use this without acoustic treatment? We'll get into that in a minute. So really, I have it open here on the background, and I show some screenshots as well as quick footage of the unboxing of the product and what comes with it. You actually get a software card that shows you how to download your software, a microphone and a microphone clip you'll see in the B-roll footage. But once you get everything set up, it will walk you through step by step on how to run the software, how to take the measurements of your room, and how to implement that into your DAW. So how this works is you put it on your master bus, and as you're producing or working on a mix, you can turn it on or turn it off, and it shows you actually your different room curve as far as your room's EQ curve and the corrections that it makes. And as you're producing, you're able to hear your mix in what would be a corrected environment. So earlier I brought up the concept, do you need acoustic treatment with software like this? Yes. This software is, I would say, like the last 2 to 5%. So if your room is like 80% treated or whatever, this adds that little boost, that icing on the cake, to assist you. And the reason I say assist you is because it doesn't do the work for you. Although it's a plug-in, it doesn't act like a compressor or like an EQ even, in that it is not, it's adjusting the EQ of what you hear so that you can make educated adjustments in your own mix. So it's still on you and your judgment and your taste. It allows you to hear a bit more accurately what you're working with in your mix. So it's really, really helpful in doing that. Now, just a quick look at installation. You'll get, again, I showed you the card that it comes with, and actually I'll bring it out right here and just kind of go over what you get. So you get your main box, and you got the secondary box, which has the microphone in there and the licensing card and all your product information. So one thing to note, you'll go to, it brings out www.ikmultimedia.com/am. You have to download the authorization manager. That's where you run the program from. And here's a quick note, something that I ran into. You have to download the authorization manager as well as and input your serial number. But then when you go to IK Media's website and you create an account, you still have to download not only the authorization manager, but IK Multimedia's installation software. And that's where you would download like all your VSTs, and any IK Multimedia software will run through their portal. So you have to download that portal, then you download the software. I was trying to download it directly off the website. Some programs will let you do that. They don't actually have a tab for that. You have to download their software manager as well. A lot of companies are kind of going to that now. You go through their download manager to download products and authorize the product. So it's a two-step process. You have the authorization manager, which is what you would put your serial number in, and then you have the actual project portal where you download the actual software. So just thought I'd bring that up. So back to what you get. As I said, you get this microphone with the software that allows you to take the measurements of your room. It's a MEMS microphone, and this is, the ARC system advanced room correction software. Does it work? Do I recommend it? I do, but you need to have your room acoustically treated to the best of your ability. Obviously, a lot of producers working at home studios, working in less than ideal settings, may not have the state-of-the-art room acoustic treatment, but you want to have something, even if you're in your bedroom, cover those basic points. And we'll probably do a video about that as well, acoustic treatment, some of the basics. I'm not an expert at it, but I do know a lot of the basics of setting up acoustic treatment in a room so that you don't have a lot of flutter echoes. And a lot of rooms have low-end issues. Low-end is the hardest thing to get right, but if you can, get in the ballpark, having this software allows you, again, to take your mix to the next level. So you don't have to keep going back and forth to your car, back and forth on your phone, because this software actually allows you to kind of mimic these different circumstances. And you still may want to listen on your phone in your car, but it kind of cuts down on some of the back and forth. And we're going to actually jump into the computer and check out the software and some of its features and details. So let's check it out. So here's a quick look at the ARC 3 system. This is actually in Reason. I have it here dropped in the master bus, and then we'll open up the interface so you can see what it looks like actually in the DAW. So here we have, and I'll turn off, this is the compensation that it makes, the EQ curve, to fix the issues that are in my room. And then I can turn back on here. You can see this is what it looks like when it actually does the reading of your room's EQ. So that's what my EQ curve looks like, left and right channels before, and then, as I showed before, what it looks like after. So you can kind of have a comparison to see what adjustments it's making. You can save your settings. You can save different settings, different presets. You can actually go in here, change between flat, custom. You can make your own custom EQ curve if you would like. Then you have some different virtual settings here, like car, laptop. So you can just hear some different EQ curves and what that would sound like. We have a trim level. I leave mine at 0 dB because I have an external controller, a volume controller. Here you can see you can turn the program off, turn it on. You can change these little speaker pictures to whatever you would like when you set it up. There's a few different presets. One really nice feature is that this program actually has a built-in LUFS meter. You can choose a few different settings as far as what you want it to display. The type of metering, I have mine set up for the LUFS. If you want to know more about that, maybe I'll do a video on LUFS in the future, but you can, Google that and find out what that does. It basically is the perceived volume level. When you talk about loudness, it gives you an idea of what your overall loudness is. You have neutral, linear. I leave it to neutral. Again, you have, all your EQ curves right here. And again, you drop this on your master bus, and what you want to make sure is that you turn the app off, or you turn the plugin, I should say, off before you bounce down your overall project. So I like to turn it off there, and then in Reason I turn the actual VST plugin off as well, just to make sure, because you don't want to bounce it down with that on. You just want to hear what issues you have in your EQ, make the necessary adjustments, and then you would bounce down the finished product with the adjustments you made using the plugin. But then you turn the plugin off, and then you bounce down, what your finished product there. So helpful, really, really nice plugin. Again, this is the ARC 3. The interface is quite different than ARC 2 in the previous versions of IK Multimedia's software. Like I said, really helpful in making adjustments to your mix, to your music as you're producing, so you can get a better idea. It's not going to do the work for you, but again, it gives you a helpful look into what issues you may have in your room acoustically. So that's just a look at the VST plugin. Again, that's in Reason. So that was a quick look internally at how the software works. We showed an unboxing earlier, what comes with the product, and my recommendations for it. I do think it works. I do think it's very useful. So the next question is, how does it compete with the other room correction softwares out there, and the main one being Sonarworks? I like IK Multimedia's software for two reasons. One, it's about half the price. Right now, I think when I got it, it was $149. I'm not sure if that was a sale or they just dropped the price, but you can actually get just the software. If you have a room correction MEMS mic, which I didn't bring that up, you can use it with the software. But for $150, you get the mic and the software, and I think it's $60 just for the software itself. So again, how does it compare with Sonarworks? Now, Sonarworks is, like I said, about twice the price. It comes with a microphone, and it has a few other features that IK Multimedia does not, but here's where I think the big difference is. So Sonarworks allows you, they also have headphone modeling. Personally, and again, this is my opinion, I don't think that's necessary. What is the point of modeling headphones when you have headphones? It's just, that's what headphones are there for. Headphones typically they may have their EQ signature, which, okay, maybe you want to, that may benefit you, so you may go the Sonarworks route. But personally, headphones are there for that purpose. Once you learn those headphones, you make adjustments accordingly. The other is IK Multimedia only allows you to use the plugin as a VST. At this point, they don't have like a standalone app that will let you run all of your sound, whether you're listening to Apple Music or Tidal, through that. Here's why I don't think you really need that. Music that you're listening to from whatever artist, that music has already been done and probably mastered in a multi-million-dollar studio. So it's going to be EQ'd correctly. It's going to sound as good as that artist could get it. So for you to add additional EQ correction is really not going to make a difference. And that's why I say it's important to acoustically treat as well as know your room. I didn't mention that part. Know your room really well and know some of the issues, because that software is not going to change the major faults in your room, the things that you have, if you have major faults, low-end issues. It will adjust somewhat and flatten that curve out so you don't have as much of those issues, but you really need to know your room. So back to the point about, Sonarworks, I was interested in Sonarworks. I didn't even know about IK Multimedia's room correction software, but when I found out about it and the price difference, now granted, less is always not better. Sometimes, I do believe in, if you're looking for a quality product, you don't just want to go with what's cheaper. However, for what it does, it's not going to, again, it's just not a magic wand that makes everything sound great. You have to make the correct balance changes. This just allows you and helps you or assists you to hear what you're working with, so you're not just kind of blindly making decisions based off what you hear in your room. Because how many times have you worked on a project, sounds great in your room, take it out to the car, take it somewhere else, and it doesn't sound the same? This helps mitigate that some. Actually, a lot, if you are familiar with your room and know the issues and know how your room sounds, know how your monitors sound in that room, and really pay attention to that, and that will help you in your mixes. And this, the IK Multimedia software, will help you to do that. So I think it stacks up really well next to Sonarworks. If you just want Sonarworks, then go for it. It works. However, if you want room correction software, but you don't really care about headphone modeling, and again, my case for the standalone, whole system EQ change, I don't really see the point of that. If you're listening to music, great music that was recorded and mixed and mastered by great artists and engineers, you don't really need to add additional correction, because what you're hearing through your speaker has already been corrected, if that makes sense. So just keep that in mind when you're comparing the two. Like I said, if you're looking at a budget to get some acoustic treatment and room correction, I think IK Multimedia's option is great, because you can kind of put some towards both versus just, say, a Sonarworks. I know there's a few others, but they're about the same price. I think IK Multimedia's is the most cost effective. So just keep that in mind. It works really well, helps you to fix your mixes quicker, helps you to hear what you're working with. And it actually, the best way I can describe it, if your room is treated, if you have pretty decent monitors, before you run out and go buy a new pair of monitors, you may want to check this out, because this actually makes your monitors during the production process sound completely different. They sound more like whatever range of monitor you have, they sound like a higher end monitor would sound. And if you have high end monitors, it just makes it sound that much better. So just something to think about. My thoughts on IK Multimedia software, Arc 3 room correction software. I think it's really good. I think it works well. It does what it says it's supposed to do. Simple, straightforward. Again, we walked through kind of the unboxing and looked at some of the steps in really downloading and getting the program into your system and getting it to work for you. So I would recommend it. Check it out. I'll put a link to IK Multimedia's webpage below. So again, like I said, I recommend the software. It's affordable and it does what it says it's supposed to do. So check it out. Again, this is KRK Beats for Out the Box Studios. Really appreciate you stopping by. If you hadn't had a chance, hit that subscription button. and the notification bell if you would like. You can find out when we post new content. And always remember, there's an old saying, there's more than one way to skin a cat, which you probably don't want to skin a cat because I think Peter would be mad. But anyways, meaning there's a lot of different ways to do something. So don't just get locked into one specific way of doing something. You can, now we have Google, you can find out so many different ways of accomplishing a goal or finishing a project, or even when you're talking about audio, whether it's a mix or production, don't just get stuck into one lane as far as your process or how you work. Be open to learn, be open to new suggestions and ways of doing things, all right? Again, KRK Beats for Out the Box Studios. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.